Hollywood is now officially a side hustle to big tech with the news that we got last night. Either way, Warner Brothers is getting sold to somebody, but for right now, it looks like Netflix is the winner because they had the highest bid. There are major problems with this going through, but as it stands right now, they have an exclusive negotiation window. I'm not really sure how long it is, and then there's the $5 billion backout clause. So if it fails and for some reason Netflix backs out, they have to give Warner Brothers $5 billion.
Damn.
Holy crap.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of money.
Paramount should start selling itself then over and over again.
Netflix wins bidding war for Warner Brothers Discovery, will start exclusive deal talks. And this went down last night. This is just bad all around before we even get into the article. Forget the fact that you're probably going to, Hollywood is going to lose multiple theatrical films. They're going to lose physical media. DC Comics is absolutely screwed. The DC property is screwed. And then we think about Netflix being in control of something like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. You know, it's horrifying considering what they just did with The Witcher. Nothing about this is good.
Yeah.
Beyond that, look, Warner Brothers getting sold to anyone, whether it was Paramount, Universal, Netflix, whatever, not necessarily good for the industry. One less huge legendary studio that gets swallowed up by another, less competition between these studios, writing on the wall for Hollywood in general. But Netflix is the worst case scenario when you're looking at theaters. They're already talking about limiting theatrical windows and stuff like that, and to accommodate the consumer who just wants to watch it from home. Like Netflix has already said these things. So this is why everyone in the industry is very, very against it. And they're like rallying, they're asking politicians to step in and stop it. Because then you have the actual antitrust aspect where you have Netflix, this massive fucking company that's coming in and buying another massive company. But specifically when it comes to streaming, for the biggest streamer by far to buy the third biggest streamer, I mean, that's a lot of the market share
HBO,
right
which
there.
I mean was pretty much the godfather of streaming and prestige TV that created that whole market, and it being swallowed up by Netflix is terrible. So we've already lost Fox, we've already lost MGM, and the fact that this is going to go away, it's going to cost them a lot of jobs. And again, this is a classic studio that goes back to the origins of Hollywood. That is now just a side hustle for a big tech company that decided maybe we do need IPs. Remember, Ryan, it was just a couple of months ago, Ted Sarandos and Netflix were like, well, we're not interested in doing this. We don't want to buy Netflix. I mean, buy Warner Brothers. And they were just lying, of course. But yeah, like HBO going to Netflix, which means all the HBO shows will be binged. They won't be out weekly. And how many of those people are you going to keep on? Because HBO does have quality production, whether you like all their shows or not. Well, that's aside from the point that they actually have been doing this a long time and they know how to pump out like a quality, at least a show that looks good.
But this isn't a question of Warner Brothers makes great stuff and Netflix doesn't. Netflix has loads of good series. Like just in the last month, there's been Last Samurai Standing. There was Nero the Assassin. Yeah, the foreign things, but Netflix has good
foreign
stuff.
Things.
Stuff. It doesn't.
We're talking about the important stuff, America here, Disparu. And
well, if in that case, let's say they decide to limit theatrical windows and only do IMAX releases. Would that be the worst case scenario, that every cinema release is essentially the best experience you get and then everyone else can watch it at home? Because the issue is, as the experience at home improves, it becomes closer and closer to cinema. So cinema will inevitably end up as, it has to be a unique enough experience to justify its existence. That's just the future of entertainment.
Cinema's becoming the high street. To what shopping's become. Shopping has gravitated so much more towards online shopping than actually physically going into brick and mortar. And unless cinemas do something drastic to make the experience of going to that cinema that special experience, then ultimately people will decide, yeah, I'd rather sit on my lovely sofa with my big TV, good sound system, all my amenities, all my kitchen right there, get drinks, get snacks, everything and I can get a better experience at home than I can at the cinema.
And you can pause it when you need to go to the toilet. That's like that's a
But you can you make your own popcorn bucket?
Maybe.
Well, everyone there is invite only as well, which is a major improvement.
Yeah.
They've got to earn it. Again, we don't owe cinemas shit.
Yeah. We got 30-minute
Well, and that's
pre-roll ads. There's no separation between commercials and trailers anymore.
Yeah.
It's just commercials all the way up until the movie starts, and it's double the amount of time it used to be. And you're not telling people to be quiet. People are fucking loud all the time. Yeah, it's a nightmare to go. So why would you not want to just stay home? I mean, that's where everything's going. It's going to go there. It's sad, but that's just the fact of life.
Yeah, the public's going to decide. I think a lot of people like the idea of movie theaters, but they're just not going every week, and there's not anything worth going. There's no reason to go there every week. You know,
I think that's
like
the key
back
thing,
in the day, we used to roll up on movie theaters and like not have a movie in mind. You know, I'll just pick a movie here. Now you're struggling to even make the trip. It's like, is it worth it? So Netflix, they're not going to change their attitude about this at all. Netflix has emerged victorious with what appears to be the highest and so far the winning bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. Deadline has learned and will start exclusive talks to finalize the deal. This caps a tumultuous day that saw Paramount move aggressively to counter the giant streamer and seal a deal of its own for WBD. Netflix offered around $28 a share for WBD, according to sources, mostly in cash. That helps. It's been a fast-moving auction and one that will reshape the entertainment landscape dramatically. WBD put itself on the block in October to open up the process after receiving 3 consecutive offers from Paramount. Warner hopes to get a deal in place by mid to late December, but there's still a long way to go. And you have to, again, you know, when you see like Matt Gaetz and Elizabeth Warren like tweeting the same thing, saying that this is a monopoly, this is terrible. You know, like that's going to be a tough hurdle to get over. Paramount has argued it was only one of the 3 with a clear path to closing, insisting in a letter to WBD that the rival offers from Netflix and Comcast both present serious issues that no regulators will be able to ignore. It believes Netflix, being the dominant streamer in the US and globally, would face major antitrust hurdles, adding HBO Max to the fold. David Ellison's company has also called the sale process unfair and tilted towards Netflix. WBD countered that its board attends to its fiduciary obligations with an utmost care and that they have fully and robustly replied them and it will come to do so. Also, David Zaslav's gets a sweeter deal out of this. Let's keep that in mind. And that's business. That's business.
So, and that's one of the things, like, this is not done, right? Not only the government hurdles that they'll have to go through, but also Paramount is not happy with this. Paramount offered $30 a share.
Yeah.
Right? They are going to appeal directly to Warner Brothers shareholders and say, hey, we will give you more money for your shares. Like, that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be doing that in the immediate aftermath of this. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
That shit sucks too. Like, Paramount owning it sucks too, because half of it's going to be the freaking Arab Emirates. Like, neither of this is going to be good for anybody.
Yeah, that's not good.
We should have a different solution to this, because ideally, okay, let's say there's no companies big enough to buy them. Fair enough. That's kind of the problem with the antitrust, that we've already allowed them to become these big, like Amazon, Alphabet. Alphabet. But the better solution would then be for the government to go in and say, like, okay, you can't be sold. We can't allow it. So you're in debt. If you have to sell everything, you're fucked. Guess what? All of your properties now open to bidding. Somebody else wants to get your stuff, they'll have an opportunity now.
That is the best option, selling IPs off piecemeal, because if there's a company scrapes all of its money together and then buys like Batman, that they would treat that as their golden goose. They would put all of their effort, all of their care to protect that like it was their life, because it would be their entire company at that point.
Absolutely. Like, that would be the best way, because it also gives an opportunity, like Shad says, for new people to get in. Okay, you're a small startup company, but you've got a fantastic idea for how you would treat Batman better. Okay, go to the banks, go to the investors, pitch the idea. Maybe you can get the money. And as you say, yes, that would not be a throwaway IP to them. They would pour everything they have into it, because it's everything they have. Whereas for DC, if Batman fails, okay, toss it away and try again.
nerderotic.com. Please subscribe.